Hello, and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terri Morrow. Say hi, Terri.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terri and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. So this week, we're watching 2 funny episodes of Trophy Wife, which we needed after a doozy of a West Wing episode or couple of episodes.
Yeah.
But first, Dancing with the Stars, the finale.
That was kind of an underwhelming end to an underwhelming season, wasn't it? What the heck was that?
Yeah, that was very odd.
Why just an hour? And if you're going to make it just an hour, why put so much stuff in it that you can't even say who the third and second place people are? That you bring all these people back for the last episode to get one more moment in the spotlight, and it's like a second each. What the heck? That was a ridiculous episode.
Yeah, that was super weird. That last minute was super compressed and odd. And yeah, these poor people who were in it on previous weeks and they came back for a dance that was choreographed by Mandy Moore. And it was basically like the troupe. Yeah. And then if you were lucky, you got a glimpse of the other people for a second.
This was very bad. It was very bad. And you know, I saw some differences of opinion on this in the chat room I was in, but it was more or less a strong feeling. You know, Adam's sort of been scripted to win it from the beginning. He's a talented guy. I have no doubt he could have crushed any ballroom dances somebody wanted to give him decent choreography for. But instead he got, a contemporary last week, and then he jazzed in a freestyle this week. The ones this week were not good. At least, I don't think so.
I liked the jazz. I did not like the freestyle.
But the jazz was not, there was hardly anything to it. You know, it was cute, but it was like, it was high school dance recital stuff, you know? It was, compared to somebody having to learn steps of a foxtrot or of a waltz or whatever, what the heck was it? Mm-hmm. I could have done a fair amount of that, you know? And I'm not a professional figure skater. There was hardly anything to it. And then that freestyle was just...
That was super weird.
It was super weird. And based on this, Jenna is a mirror ball holder. Oh, my goodness. I already resented the fact that she was obviously fated to get it. And then she ends it up with crap.
Yeah.
I was not satisfied. I thought there was when they actually called them on that last number with, you know, 9s. Oh, the scathing judgment of 9s.
Right.
I thought there might be a tiny chance for Josh and Sharna to break through, but no. And we don't even know whether they were third or second.
No.
This is wouldn't it be great if Tom accidentally read it wrong and Adam and Jenna were third place? No.
A little Oscars moment.
That's right, you know? He's used to, I don't know. It was just awful. It was just a ridiculous. I don't know why they had to do 2 dances in 1 hour. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, the first one seemed fairly unnecessary. And just, come on, Dancing with the Stars. You're supposed to be, you know, an enjoyable, take you away sort of thing. And this was just not satisfactory. I mean, I guess people who wanted Adam to win are happy with that, but it wasn't a particularly good showcase for him for his last 25% of his appearance.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It was, I think, more a showcase for Jenna, not of her choreography, but of her dancing, you know? But it just, I don't think it was about him at all. So,
disappointing.
I guess we can be happy that Tanya didn't win. Although poor Sasha was trying his hardest, man.
Yeah, I mean, they were throwing everything they could into that freestyle.
They were.
And it was kind of fun to watch.
It was. But it was the most fun I've had watching her dance, just because it seemed to be very her.
Yes.
A little too much.
So that was better than expected and sort of fun.
Yes.
But yeah, then, Josh was, I don't know, I didn't love his freestyle either.
I thought it was okay, though, and appropriate to him and very football-y. And
yeah, it was. I mean, it's just that it didn't blow me away,
Yeah. I mean, aside from just the weirdness of Adam and Jenna's dance, are we okay with people putting on black wigs and waving fans? And I thought we weren't okay with that anymore.
I was having the same issue with that also. It was...
that.
Yeah. Yup.
Yeah.
Strange.
So much strange. So
Very
much weird.
Strange. Yes. So, Dancing with the Stars, please don't do this experiment again. Because
if you're going to do it with all-stars. If you want to do 4 weeks of bringing people back who already are pretty good, and they can all be pretty good together and compete with each other on an even level, and we already know who they are and have some experience with them, yeah, okay. But this sort of thing where, the wide range of abilities is already bad for a full season. For 4 weeks,
right?
Variations of fame, variations of ability, you got to give people a chance. Mm-hmm. And this, as bad an idea as the 4-episode season was, the 1-hour finale was concentrated version of that. It was a bad cherry on top of the bad sundae. Let's just all agree to forget this ever happened.
Yep. I think we should.
It's like if Sharna had won the mirror ball, I was going to defend this as just as good as all the other mirror balls and completely equal. Now that Jenna's got it, it's nothing. It's an asterisk.
It's an asterisk.
It's not even the same looking mirror ball. So this will just be a little footnote
there you go.
That unfortunate season.
I mean, I don't know how many seasons I've been watching with you, but I don't even think Jen has been on any of them.
No, she was. She had the kid from Wizards of Waverly Place. Was it Jake T?
Oh, yeah. But
the one who looked like he had lost
long.
a bet on a pool game and wound up at Dancing with the Stars,
Yeah.
He fell asleep on the back step of a bar, and when he woke up, he was wearing sequins and dancing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was not good. And I think she might have been on once before, but no. Not enough. And it's not like she did that good a job. At least not in these last 2 dances, I thought were not good showcases for him. And and he's good. He could have done good stuff. Mm-hmm. When you compare, anyway.
Yeah.
And the voting was ridiculous. I thought they were going to have like 5 minutes for voting, and it was I think it was 2 minutes, and they had a countdown clock, and they didn't have links to all the different places you could vote, so you could vote both on the ABC website and on Facebook and on your phones, but you had to try to figure that out yourself. So I went to the ABC thing and I did that, and I said, gee, I wonder if I could do Facebook. And it took me a while to find the Facebook as the clock's ticking down.
Yeah.
And then they had the phone numbers, and I tried the phone number, and the line was busy. So I think you could have done that too. But it wasn't here's all the way to vote. It's gee, we're hoping nobody can figure this out so that we can just give it to whoever we want to, which is what they did anyway. So. Anyway, well, you were a fan of Adam and sort of rooting for him, right? So,
yeah,
are you happy?
I mean, I didn't. That last freestyle really turned me off, I gotta say.
Yeah,
but I do think he's enjoyable to watch, and he's a character.
Yeah. I could have done with 95% less of their packages of gushing all over each other. Oh, just stop.
True.
All right. I was disappointed because I thought there was a little sliver of a possibility that Josh and Sharna could take it. But no. Once again, it is cruelly yanked from her hands by somebody sort of preordained from the beginning. Yeah. Oh, well.
Next. In the fall.
The fall. We get a full season in the fall, plus a season of Children.
Oh, that's right. They didn't even talk about that.
You know what children don't have enough in their life is stress and rejection. So Let's do that for our entertainment.
Skimpy costumes.
And skimpy costumes. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, dear.
I dare them to have Bruno on the judging panel for the
for little small
double dog dare them. Oh, well.
Oh, my.
Anyway.
Well, speaking of things that came and went so quickly, you almost don't remember exactly what happened.
Yes.
Trophy Wife, the first of the 2 episodes we watched this week, was called "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," or "'Twas It?" in which all the parents, all of the adults in the family wake up on Christmas morning completely hungover, and the house has been trashed, and none of them remembers what happened. And the rest of the episode is them piecing it back together.
Yes.
And it is quite funny.
Yes. Hot tip, do not pour an entire bottle of absinthe into your Christmas punch. It will not end well.
Your mulled wine. People will lose eyebrows.
Oh, dear.
You'll adopt a wild animal. Like, the Christmas tree will end up in the pool.
On fire.
Yes. All kinds of.
And the gifts will all be in the chimney.
Right.
And perhaps you will have quit your job, though, as it turned out. He just shredded a case file and called his boss a whole bunch of times.
Right. Thanks to Jackie egging him on.
That's right.
So yeah, this was a very, it was a fun take on a Christmas episode.
Yes.
I guess you could say, not something I've seen before in a sitcom.
Not so fun for the kids who can't find their gifts. But that was. I very much enjoyed the wolf having adopted Diane, sort of as, kindred spirit, and walking through the house.
She's like just casually petting it, sitting next to it on the couch.
Meanwhile, it bit Meg. But
right.
we
and
do
if
need
anyone could domesticate a wolf, it would, in like the matter of, 3 hours, it would be.
That's right. Well, it's like they always say, well, it's the wolf recognizes its own, let's just say. Mm-hmm. But we do need to talk about the dog continuity problem on this show, because as you pointed out last week, there was a dog who got lice shampooed in the lice episode, and we had never seen this dog before, nor will we possibly ever see this dog again. Maybe the wolf ate him, I don't know. But the kids were saying, we wish we had a dog.
Right.
There was a puppy introduced in the pilot. Jackie and Pete, out of, panic, having killed Bert's hamsters, got him a puppy. Guinea pigs.
Yes.
Yeah, guinea pigs, I think it was. Got him a puppy, but we never saw that dog again. And then all of a sudden there was a dog getting lice shampooed. Maybe it was just a stray dog, which certainly probably should be lice shampooed before you let it in the house. And then in this episode, the kids were all asking for a dog, and then there was this wolf. So it's a little confusing. Somebody needed to be on pet continuity for a family show.
Yeah.
Maybe the puppy has been at Jackie's house, but we haven't seen it there either.
Yeah, and we've certainly been to Jackie's house.
We have been.
Many times.
I'm sure the dog probably escaped because it was only getting, holistic food and being meditated over, and he ate a candle and it was a big deal, so he's probably saying, he got tangled up in the wind chimes, saying, I'm going over the other place.
Said, I've had it.
Pete, you have custody. But yeah, that was fun. I remembered that episode. I remembered the massive hangover. I did not remember that it was Bert who had done the deed. I thought that it was one of these things where each adult says, it needs more wine, and nobody knows that there's like 4 bottles of wine being added to it. But no, it was Bert imitating Kate's bartender moves and pouring an entire bottle of absinthe into the mulled wine, which caused
not
everybody
just wine, absinthe.
Yes, which caused everybody to completely lose their minds.
Right.
That was fun.
And it was just fun to watch them all, just having a good time together.
That's right. Singing.
Even though everything was falling apart around.
We were singing. And Meg, the rare occurrence in which Meg was like the soberest and sanest person in the room.
And then she got bit by the dog, so she's gone.
To the hospital. And the teacher winds up there with no clothes on.
Yes, it was all quite funny. And then the second one was Pete's 50th birthday. Mm-hmm. And Pete is convinced that he has a curse. His birthday is cursed.
Rightly, apparently.
Yes, right. Because then, of course, we get to see how that plays out.
Yes.
For his celebration with Kate.
Yes. She means well, but it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
Right.
Involves the DMV and all sorts of delightful things. But, and then the subplot was that somebody sent Pete a box of lobsters for his birthday, which the kids did then not seal up the box again. And then Bert learns that most of the things he enjoys eating used to be alive. What was it? Warren said something like, "You've eaten everything that's on your pajamas."
Yes. Everything that's ever been on your pajamas.
Yes, that's right.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And then finally he decides he will only eat bologna because Pete can't tell him specifically what kind of animal that is.
No one knows.
I would think that Jackie would
for Bert.
have him on some sort of vegetarian macrobiotic diet anyway, but apparently he enjoys lobster somewhere along the line. Do many little kids Bert's age enjoy lobster? I don't know.
Well, he never wanted to eat it.
No, he just wanted it to be his pet.
Yeah. It was the other kids who were all excited.
They lured him with a BLT and then broke the news. Remember Charlotte's Web?
Oh, so good.
Yeah, all the kid actors are in that, but the kid who plays Bert is particularly special. It was in the Christmas thing. He goes, "Oh my stars!" when he sees the tree and the burning in the pool.
Right. And then the older kids goes, "Look away, Bert." But then they quickly decide that that's the best thing that they could be looking at right now.
Yes, out of all the options. And then the birthday episode also, I guess it had 3 plots, because it also had Jackie and Diane bonding, which I think Diane gave in a little too much, but she's feeling mellow after her non-massage, I guess.
Or maybe it was the lingering effects of the absinthe.
That's possible. Yes. I like her better when she's a wolf. But,
right.
Yes.
Yeah. So those were both quite funny. And as I said, we needed them because...
The other thing we watched this week.
The other thing we watched was the final episode of season 4 of The West Wing. It's called 25. And it's pretty crummy.
Yes.
Because, there's terrorist threats. There's Zoe's been abducted. And John Goodman is, coming in to become the interim president or whatever, however they're spinning it. And so,
that's quite, Aaron Sorkin pretty much torched the place on his way out, is my feeling.
He really did.
He's going to be, he's probably has also, Tommy Schlamme didn't seem to feel that it was particularly that, didn't describe it that way on the West Wing Weekly podcast. And I think Aaron Sorkin's going to be on next week, and I'm sure he'll have a different explanation of it. But I think it was to use a term from The Good Place, a fork you gesture on the way out.
Yeah. Like, good luck with this,
it's the equivalent
guys.
of you get Hoynes, except Hoynes is gone. So it's you get walking. Which is how, these last few episodes, I really, really, really liked Evidence of Things Not Seen, and I enjoyed Life on Mars, and they seemed nice, harmless episodes, but they're the beginning. The marbles, that nice little interview with Joe Quincy rolls the marble. Because if he hadn't been there, nobody would have picked up on the vice president's problem with that book probably until later, and he would still have been around for this. So it was just, the end game was going into, the end was coming into motion. And so now when I watch those episodes, it's with a certain amount of dread. But boy, this episode, man, right from the very beginning, that opening scene where the president and the first lady are having a little party with their friends whose kids have also graduated, and they're looking at pictures and they're chatting, and it's like, we know something they don't know, and there's just this feeling of, oh my goodness, and they're, joking about the kids growing up too fast and holding on to them and safety, and then you see, Bartlett sees Leo and Ron Butterfield in the door and makes his way over there. And in the foreground is this pleasant chatter about baby seats and stuff like that. And the camera's circling around and it keeps blocking the view of the president and Leo and Ron and then coming back to it. And then, finally at the end, you don't hear their conversation. You just hear this little kind of, chatter. And then the pictures drop on the floor and the drink drops on the floor and he looks at Abby and Abby looks at him. Oh, I was already,
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was just sort of like leaky tears for
it was
the entire
episode.
45 minutes. Because then you have sweet Toby with his babies. And,
I was crying. I mean, as he was getting up to the point where he's going to say that the baby's name was Molly. So I knew that was coming. Oh.
I was a little afraid that it was going to be Zoe.
I was too. I was thinking that. And I was thinking, no, because that would imply she was already dead. You can't do that. Naming her after Molly was very sweet. It was such a wonderful scene, such a good scene by Richard Schiff. The acting in that scene was terrific. And then that just got me sobbing and on the treadmill.
Yes.
But even earlier, the scene where he has to tell his friends, because of course you have to tell them this thing has happened, but in the middle of all this other stuff going on, he's just trying to find the right way to say it. That was a hard, so many really difficult scenes. And so very, very well done and well acted and well written. The scene, they have this opening scene at this party where Bartlett's finding out this horrible news. And then the next scene is they're actually there and Charlie is getting this news. And the way they had like the light from the police cars kept like flashing across his face. And, poor Charlie. And then,
come on, Charlie. You're...
it's like I don't want to say to him, "You gotta stop her from going," but I'm sure he's thinking it. But
because he's thinking.
And I think it's worth making a note that the Secret Service, in all its might, seems unable to restrain Charlie Young. This is the second time he has broken away and ran someplace he wasn't supposed to go. Come on, you guys! Good thing that he's on our side, because he could be a threat, man.
That's right.
So, I would have liked him to punch John Paul, but I guess at that point, John Paul was already... So you sort of got the answer to your question from last week, that Jean Paul did give her something. However, it was not what he thought it was.
What he thought he was doing. Yeah.
He thought he was giving her ecstasy. Instead, he was giving her a day rate drug. So, jerky enough as it was. Just shoot him.
Yeah, really.
Get the drug dealer's name. And then
let him rot.
Leave him in a room alone with Charlie for a little while. It'll be fine.
Oh, boy.
No problem. And then of course at the end we wind up with Bartlett probably rightly deciding that he can't be in charge of this because he's too vulnerable as a father. And so, they have to go to the next in the line of succession, which would be the vice president, except, oops, there's no vice president.
Oh, wait a minute. No. Yeah.
So it goes to the Speaker of the House, who is a Republican, played by John Goodman.
Who is in the category of larger than life.
Yes.
Sure.
And, not going to come in and take charge pretty soundly. So, for a little while.
Definitely not going to be just like, I'll just keep the chair warm for you.
That's right.
He's gonna...
Well, I guess he has to give up the job he has to do it, so I suppose he has a right to do what he wants, but... Yeah, not a happy... it would have been more effective, though, if this was somebody we had ever heard of before.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name ever coming up. I guess maybe they talked about the Speaker, but if there had been, like, an episode or two where they were doing battle with him, this would have been much more, in this case, it's just sort of like, oh, John Goodman. Instead of, oh, that bad guy. Oh, what a terrible thing to have to turn it over to him.
Well, so then they put in that whole thing about, like, I'd shoot down a plane with my mother on it.
Yeah.
Just so we establish
right.
what you need to know about him.
Yeah. He's not, he might be the guy to just come into the situation, and I don't know. It will be interesting. I can't I honestly can't remember where it goes from here. I remembered these episodes. I mean, I remember one big thing about where it goes from here, but not the little things. So,
right. Well, it seemed like maybe they should be listening to Nancy McNally and not start World War III.
Yeah.
Just...
Yep.
So...
But it's always fun. I mean, not fun, because in this episode it was excruciating, but always enjoy Nancy McNally scenes. And
yes,
she and Fitz,
sure.
they could have done like a sequel, a spin-off Nancy and Fitz. They started a detective agency somewhere, and always disagree, always have difference of opinion,
right?
But banter amusingly. NBC. Well.
Anyone? Hello? Remember the show? That was 15 years ago. Can we get a spin-off, please? Oh, dear.
Well, anyway. That was rough. The West Wing Weekly podcast was a little better. I was very unhappy with it last week because they were very flip with Commencement, which was an episode that was very hard and emotional and had lots of things in it, like abductions and heartbreak. And murder. So this one, they were not quite so flip. Tommy Schlamme was the guest and talked a lot about process and the way things were done and all that. It was very interesting. The thing that bothered me about this one was I don't think that many of the audience members had actually watched this episode recently. So when they played clips from the episode, they were not hearing them in the context in which they actually are in the episode. And so, for example, when Toby, in this incredibly awkward time of trying to figure out how to tell his friends that his babies have been born, finally just says it, and CJ, whose head is completely in this horrible, horrible crisis, says, "What babies?" That is not a laugh line. That is not a bit of comedy. That is not screwball. That is, huge crisis having to spin to something else. And people in the audience just guffawed. So stop that. And there were a few other times when there were things mentioned or there were lines played where people were laughing, and it's like, this is not laughing stuff. Everybody, before you walk into the theater, go watch this episode and cut it out.
Yeah.
So that was a little jarring, especially listening to it right after I watched the episode, and I was still all raw emotionally from it. And then, oh my gosh, stop it. Yeah. So that was, bad audience. Bad. I find myself not liking these live episodes as much as I wishing that these at least these last two episodes, I wish they had been done in the studio and not in a live. But I guess they just happen to fall here.
Right, because they're just a little too irreverent sometimes.
They are.
Yeah.
And playing to the crowd and not as focused as I would have liked. Because this is kind of, the end of the road for Original Recipe West Wing.
Yes. So that brings us to next week. So we're going to do a challenge round, which we're going to get to in a second. But for the West Wing, instead of watching a new episode, which would be, the first one of season 5, we're just going to listen to and discuss the West Wing Weekly podcast, because it has Aaron Sorkin for a guest, and it is going to sort of review the whole season 4, they say. Or I bet it'll be kind of everything up to this point.
I want to hear what he has to say for himself for the way he ended this season.
So we'll do that, and 2 more episodes of Trophy Wife, numbers 12 and 13, which are called The Punisher and The Tooth Fairy. And we are able to go back to our challenge round.
Yeah, because Dancing with the Stars has pirouetted away.
That's right. So tell us what we are going to do.
Yeah, so we will, speaking of long-running TV series that have passionate followings, we're going to watch an episode of Grey's Anatomy, which Catherine has never watched. I watched it I started with it late, and then I watched it, I'd say, for a good 10 years, and then a little bit here and there, and I have not watched it for a while. But we're going to go ahead and watch the pilot, where it all began. And as we come to a big turning point in the West Wing, we're going to see the very beginning of this other show, which has sort of also had a long and strong following. It is on Netflix.
Very good. So I will look forward to that. And that's going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes, including our daily speed rounds and weekly group chats. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terri.
Bye, Catherine.
Goodbye, everyone.